That was my next question. Kind of answered it a little bit, but I was to say that the reaction has just been amazing, and it's very, like I said, heartwarming when I went into introductions here. But just seeing the footage on TV and you guys doing these acoustic things and going on bases and stuff like that. I mean, how has that really touched you?
It's been great. I mean, we've done so many in the U.S. When we started touring in April. We did all sorts of appearances at the bases around the U.S. and even further than that. We did a special one in Fort Benning, Georgia, where we got to go in, and there was a certain regiment of people that were going to be deployed the next day to go to Iraq. And so we went into their barracks, and we actually set up a semi-trailer truck stage, played a full concert for these people for free, on a nice sunny day, and got to meet them and hang out with them. In return, they let us, drive their tanks around for a while, which was kind of an interesting, once again, another experience of learning, going, wow, I've never even stood next to a tank, really.
Crash anything? Blow up anything?
No, unfortunately not, but they wouldn't let us fire anything. But so that experience has been really good, and we've done all sorts of others. We actually did a performance acoustically on one of the Navy vessels in a port in Germany, which is actually at a NATO base. So there was just hundreds of ships at this place. I've never been on a NATO base before, so all these opportunities have arisen for us now that I don't think we would ever had, or most people would ever have. I mean, you can't even get into some of these places unless you have the restricted pass that gets you in. So we got all sorts of fun collectibles. We've met a bunch of admirals through our journeys of doing all this, and we actually performed, like I said, on that huge destroyer during the day for the troops, and there was even NATO alliance troops that came, some guys from Germany and all sorts of stuff. So we just, did I answer your question?
Yes. No, I mean, it's cool, man, because it's so touching, obviously, that it means so much to you. You could tell that you have a lot to say, which I think is great.
Yeah, and I think just coming down to the nuts and bolts of the record, besides the response, I think, our own response to what we did has been a good success. We had fun making the record. We've learned a lot from it. And just, our working together and our chemistry, did its thing again for us. And, we're happy with what we did, I mean, if we can, meet some more people and, everything's going as planned so far and playing a lot of great shows and making a couple bucks in the process. I guess, that's kind of all rolls the big ball of success for us. So,
you guys are asking members of the armed forces to get involved to make your next video, Home Alone. Can you tell us about that?
Yeah, actually, you did the same thing that I do. We call the song Home Alone. It's actually Home Again.
Home Alone, right? Home Again?
What's so funny is we've done that multiple times because of that darn movie that kid made a long time ago, that Home Alone thing. Yeah. Anyway, Home Again. Coming down the pike here for the next video. And yes, we've asked, the content of that song, which actually is, during the making of the song, it's a duet. Jeff sings with his daughter, Emily. She's 11 now, and she performed on the record as the child voice on the record. And it's basically a story of, the departure or the return and what it happens to families and, in the military and what they have to do, when dad or mom has to leave and go overseas for 6 months, 12 months or whatever. It's pretty crazy. And, we made that song actually touches us as well, just because, we do a lot of traveling in our lives, obviously not as dangerous or as long term, but I've spent my whole last 30 years, traveling and being on the road, and now that I have kids and a family, that song touches me every night when we do it as well. So anyway, so that's kind of the story of the song. So the video, it just made a lot of sense for us to, put the quest out there for people in the military. If you'd like to submit photos of, basically, I think it's going to be a lot of still photos of just, the saying goodbye for a while, or the return and what happens, when a boat comes into port and everybody pulls off and they've been gone for 12 months. And, everybody's seen that on the news and stuff, but we're getting a little bit more firsthand of it. And we get a lot of crying faces in the audience when we play that song live.
When is the official finish? Like, when are you guys going to choose a winner?
I'm not sure yet. It's just gone out. We just shot our footage just a few days ago in Poughkeepsie, New York, of all places. So we did some live stage footage of us performing the song. So it's going to be, an editing of the eventual still photos of the submissions from all the military families, and then it'll be live shots of us. So I don't know, a couple weeks maybe. I don't really actually know the turnaround, to be honest.
this is kind of more of a funny question, but now Jeff's son-in-law or stepson, I guess you want to say, son-in-law, I guess, yeah, son-in-law, I guess, yeah, because his daughter's new husband is in the band, and how is that going over? Is a lot of ball busting? How's he taking it?
Oh well, he's a young kid. Parker, our new guy, is as you're saying, is Jeff's new son-in-law, and he just got married last week. Listen, he's a great kid. We've known him for a while, and he was just a perfect new guy to bring in for us. Mike Stone left last year. He wanted to go pursue his own thing, and so when we found Parker, it just was kind of perfect. He was actually a guy that worked at Guitar Center in Seattle, but he's a great guitar player. He's a really good guy. We bust his balls all the time, man, because he's the young kid. But the problem is he's got so much more virility. Is that what we say? He bounces back. Yeah, he bounces back easier too the next day. So I can wind him up as much as I want, but I have a lot more age on my side, which is more experience. But I don't bounce back as easy as he does. So anyway, it's a lot of fun. He's a good kid, a real good kid.